Hey everyone, Todd from Sideshow Effects once again, and in this video I'm going to give a quick demonstration installation of our Sideshow Effects Photoshop lens flares for the Stream Deck device pack. Now quickly, what this pack allows us to do is very quickly apply one of a variety of different pre-made lens flare light effects over top of your existing Photoshop image. So it's a quick demonstration. We have this image here. I want to create a light effect on the left hand side of the screen. I can go to my profile on the Stream Deck. Let's select in this folder and I'll choose this side effect, and it goes through a motion and creates that lens flare effect for us, and also gives us 3 different adjustment layers that we can fine tune the look of this lens flare itself. So we can get in and adjust some levels, we can adjust the brightness and some of the contrast of it. Same thing, we can change the hue to better match our image. Same thing with the color mixer, we can adjust the colors further with the channel mixer. And you find that we have several different categories here, and so you probably will find just the right effect for your needs. So please look through the PDF as we have examples of each one of these effects and how they can be applied. So the installation of this is fairly straightforward. I should mention up front, it comes with a PDF in the pack. I recommend that you follow the instructions in the PDF for the most up-to-date information and installation over this video, and you can refer to this video for further clarification. So the first thing we need to do is we have an action folder here, which is adjustment layers. We need to copy this to our actions folder, and that's located, I'm on a Mac right now, so it would be the Mac hard drive, applications, my version of Adobe Photoshop, presets, and the actions folder. So you click and drag that into the actions folder. On the Windows system, it is program files, Adobe, your version of Adobe Photoshop, presets, actions, and that's where it will go. Now let's go into Photoshop just very quickly. So we'll go into our actions panel here, and on the right hand side we're going to say load actions, and you'll load in the Sideshow Effects adjustment layers action that we had just dragged over, and double check that it is indeed loaded into your actions panel. Now we have a script folder here, so we want to make sure that this script gets loaded into the correct location. And on the Macintosh, it is once again the Mac hard drive, applications, your version of Adobe Photoshop, presets, and it will go in the scripts folder. So you drag and drop this Sideshow Effects Lens Flare 1 into your scripts folder, and you'll need to restart Photoshop, and then just to double check, go into File, Scripts, and you can see it loaded here. Lens Flare 1. So since we've double checked it, it is installed in our file scripts. We want to go to Edit, Keyboard Shortcuts. Now we're going to add a keyboard shortcut to that script file. So under Application menus here, under File, you go to, scroll down to the Scripts section. You can see it here, Scripts. And we want to add in this shortcut, Shift, if you're on a Mac, it's Shift, Command, and the equal sign. If you're on Windows, it's Control, Shift, period. So you would just click on the shortcut section here. You would use your keyboard to apply Shift, Command, and equal sign and say Accept. Now, if you have a conflict, you'll have to, like, let's say, for example, I'm going to X that out, and let's say I'm just going to put it somewhere else for now. Just apply it there temporarily. So let's say that I want to click on here and apply Shift Command equals, but it already exists somewhere else and is occupied by another action. I'll get this warning. You want to make sure that you accept this, or else the profile will not work. So you'll need to accept and go to the conflict, and you'll see that it applied it to the lens flare script and took it away from where it was, and it's inviting us to change this shortcut. So you can say accept. Good idea to save your keyboard shortcut. Say OK. And now you can double check that that script does in fact have the Shift Command equals, or on the Windows Control Shift period shortcut applied to it. Now we have an assets folder here. We want to make sure that we take this, drag it to your documents folder. So you would take the entire assets and drag it to your documents folder. If you already have an assets folder there from one of our previous packs, then open this up and just copy the SideshowFX Lens Flare 1 folder to your assets folder. Now you're ready to import the profiles themselves in the profile folder. Go to the system that you're working with, currently on the Mac here, and we can import based on what device I'm using. So there's one for the MK device, which is your 15 key device, the Stream Deck Plus device, or the XL. So in this case, since I have the XL, with my Stream Deck software open, I would double click this file and it will pop up and look like this. Now you notice that there is a to copy folder here with 3 more profiles. Now what this is if I was to load the Lens Flare to copy profile, it gives us just one folder here, but if we click on the folder, we have the same set of effects given to us. It's just that they're all packed in one folder. Now this is useful should we want to access these lens flares from a different profile, and so we don't have to keep switching profiles all the time. So I can click on this, right click, say copy, and I can go to, let's say I want to put it in my Photoshop Pro Toolkit from SideshowFX. I go to an empty key, I say right click, paste, and now I have all these same lens flares available within my Photoshop Pro Toolkit profile. So that's it with everything loaded. We've done the action, we've done the script, we've copied the assets to the documents folder, we've restarted. Good idea to restart the Stream Deck and restart Photoshop so everything is set up properly. Now if we want to apply an effect to, say, this image, so let's go into Cinematic, for example. Let's say I just want to use this one here. It applies it. It's a nice bright effect for us, but it's in the wrong place. So I can click on the lens flare file, I can move it over to the location I want. There, that's where I want it. But you can see there's a problem there, that we can see that the effect just gets cut off with the layer. So we need to fix that. Well, fortunately with Photoshop, since I think it was Photoshop 2024, it allows us to use generative AI in order to fill that in. It actually does a pretty good job with these lens flare effects. So let's just isolate this layer. Now you can see that I have a little bit down here. So I'm just going to do a quick little mask, and I'm going to make sure that I overlap a little bit of my existing image. Same thing here. Overlap a little bit there, so that I have that layer selected and I have this mask applied. I'm going to hit Generative Fill and I'll say Generate without entering anything into the dialog box. It will take a look at the image and it should fill it in for how we like. Did a pretty good job there. And as always, you have 3 different versions here. If you want, if one didn't quite work out, you can try one of these. Now, I'm going to click back on the file and pay special attention to the blending mode that we've got here. We have a screening blending mode. Now when I click both and I merge these together, it's going to reset that blending mode back to normal. So let's turn on our bottom layer and we're going to change this blending mode back to screen. And now you can see we've got it filled the entire way. So you see that with a lot of these that you'll need to position the lens flare exactly where you want, and you can perform this generative fill option to fill out the frame completely. So that's it. That's all there is to it. Hopefully you'll find this pack useful for all your needs. Should you need to brighten up your images with a little bit of pizzazz, hopefully it's something that you can turn to help enhance your images. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.